All right, guys, let's get into the episode. Yeah. I don't know if you like the singing or not, but sometimes it entertains me and I like to have a little fun. Anyways, so for this episode, I want to dedicate all of this to gratitude. Gratitude is extremely powerful, and I think it's at the basis of the difference between the positive mindset, the negative mindset, and if we're not grateful, if we don't appreciate life, I think we're in a lot of ways kind of. I think we lose the enjoyment of it if we don't have some form of practice or way of checking back in at what's going right, what's going good. Our modern society has so much amazingness happening, but we don't often do the check-in to really reflect on it. And if we don't have that consistent check-in in some format, we're really losing out on so much beauty. I had mentioned in a previous episode, and I've talked about gratitude a lot, but I really want to focus on this, and I can't talk about it enough because our lives, in a lot of ways, like if you're listening to this podcast right now, your life is probably pretty good. Now, yes, we all have stressors, we all have issues, and I can't speak to your situation. I can't. But there's only a few situations where everything is completely terrible. Like right now, if you have access to a cell phone, you have a roof over your head, and you're able to eat, and you have some form of sustainable living, like that's awesome. Like appreciate that. Appreciate the basics of the fact that you can experience life right now and live. Like living is in and of itself an amazing feat. And I don't think we appreciate things from the base. And so if we don't appreciate things from the base and what we have, we're getting to have this experience right now. We're getting an experience of life. If we don't really look at things from that lens, then the little stuff throughout the day that can be frustrating can really pile on. So it's really good to look at this. So the analogy I've used previously is looking at the ocean and the waves on top of it. So if you are frustrated by the constant upswing and downswing of life, if you're looking at the crests that come in, right, the waves as it's coming in, onto the shore and it breaks down, and you're getting frustrated when it crashes down, and we have these constant little things that just frustrate us and annoy us. You're not looking at the whole ocean. For the wave to happen at the top, that 1% or 0.5% wave that's happening at the top, you have to have 99 to 99.5% of that wave in its full presence available for that wave to even happen. So do you realize that 99%, if not more, of that water is completely still and at peace? There is a tremendous amount of peace and amazingness happening when you look at the basis and the background of what needed to happen for you to be here today. If you look at the entire history of how you were even formed, how you are even eating at the table that you're eating at, how you're even able to possibly listen in with the earbuds that you're listening to right now on this podcast episode. There's so many amazing things that had to happen. And so while we might be frustrated or annoyed or angry, and again, I can't speak to your situation, and if you're in a toxic situation, that's completely different. But if you're overall sustaining life and moving and listening to this and working on yourself, like your life is really good. And so how do we establish gratitude? How do we enjoy the process of life a little bit more? So as I said, it is a practice. Gratitude is a muscle, and as such, your muscles get stronger over time. So if your gratitude muscle is at a 1 pounder, we're going to get to a 2 pounder, we got to get to a 3 pounder, and so on and so forth. It is a practice. So let's get into this. How do we do it? Morning and night. Create a morning and night routine. I see a lot of people, I forgot the person who made it. I think it's Mel Robbins. I might be misappropriating that, but there's something called the Miracle Morning. Whatever you do, establishing a morning practice, something that's consistently happening over time, is so powerful. So a morning gratitude ritual before you even get out of bed, saying the things that you're thankful for today before you get out, like and kind of do it in a thoughtful manner where you really do take the time to think about those things, powerful. Powerful beyond belief. It really is, because you're tuning your mind into looking at the good in life. If you're in medicine, or if you're in a field where you critique people, where you find the differential diagnosis, when you find out what's wrong with them, your mindset is looking at what's wrong with the person. So if you're constantly looking at what's wrong, let's appreciate what's right. So having this shift in mindset is super powerful. Reset the mind, practice looking at what's going right. Simple things, waking up in the morning, having a bed, having a functional body in whatever capacity that is, being able to move, being able to speak, all of those things, super powerful. We get to have this experience. All right, establishing that morning routine. Just do it for a minute every morning. Nighttime routine, looking at the good things that happened throughout the day, a reflection piece. You can even do this with a partner or with a friend. Tell them what was good about the day. What was good about the practice of what you were doing today and what you were able to experience? What were things you enjoyed? That clues us in on the things that light us up, the things that we enjoy, whether it was something that was good that happened at work, a takeaway from the day, a lesson that you learned. Try to get into that. It is super powerful. Right? So morning and night, say thank you. Say, I am so grateful for this day. Enter into a space where you're cognizant of that. Set your mindset. Create a change in the tone of the internal voice and the internal focus to look at the good, and all of a sudden you will transform yourself into a positive person. And there's research to suggest that if you're more positive, your life expectancy increases. I've seen several articles on this. I'm not pulling one out specifically. Positive mindset makes you happier, gives you longer longevity, is easier to make friends, increases your energy, and people enjoy being around you, and your lifestyle and life experiences improve. All of that from gratitude. It's quite impressive. It really works. I can tell you, as a user of this, it is very impressive. So I just want to say that in this episode. I am grateful for you guys listening in. I'm grateful for your practice, and I'm excited for that. So my ask of you today is to utilize gratitude. And I recommend morning and night. That is my prescription to you. 1 minute in the morning, 1 minute at nighttime. Morning, it's grateful for what we have and what we get to experience. At nighttime, reflect on what was good for the day and keep that gratitude ball rolling. Lots of love, guys. Maintain the practice, get your gratitude muscle strong, and let me know how that changes your life. All right, take care.